The tech industry is booming with salaries skyrocketing for those that know how to play the career ladder game. But here's the thing, most tech professionals are leaving thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every single year. And I know this because I've been there. Earlier in my career, I was stuck in a dead-end help desk job making $12.65 an hour. And the crazy thing is, my family was telling me to stay in this role because it was all that I needed and it was a great opportunity. So I thought. Fast forward to today, and I'm now made it into highly specialized senior tech roles, and they all pay high six-figure salaries. I can't tell you the last time that I've received an offer that was below six figures. Most of these positions are in the government sector that most people don't even know that they exist. And during that whole time, I've seen friends and family be completely undervalued for what they've been doing in their tech roles at their companies. All while I cleared six figures a year, mostly tax-free, working overseas for the government, and I even made six figures working in the government sector in the States 100% remote as well. So in this video, I'm going to teach you secrets that I've learned along the way and how you can get paid what you're worth in your tech role. Whether you're just starting out in tech, feeling stuck in a mid-level position, or feel like you're doing well but have a suspicion that you could be doing much better, this video is for you. So let's say you're not ready to move on to another position at another company and you just want to get your salary increased at the current company that you're working at. That's completely fine. I was able to do that. It's something that I like to call internal job hopping. So this is something that you can do where you can take a look at the internal career positions at your company website and see what other technical positions are available. They might have other positions that you're well qualified for that can give you at least a minimum 30% salary increase, and you don't even have to leave your company. But before you get into job hopping internally at your company, you need to understand that you do bring a lot of value to the company. You have to first completely shift your mindset before you believe that you're actually worth getting paid more money. You got to remember, these companies' main job is to make sure that they pay you as little as possible. So if you allow them to pay you as little as possible, even though you're probably doing work well beyond out your scope, they will completely take advantage of you. So it's up to you to realize that you're bringing immense amount of value to this company. So back to my help desk job where my family was telling me that I should stay at my position. This job had sponsored my government security clearance. I really had a clear path to where I could stay at this job for the next 3 or 4 years and just smoothly transition into working at this company for the rest of my life. That was a plan that my family had for me. It wasn't until that I realized that, one, I had the skill set to go and get another job, and two, the government security clearance was so valuable that I could go out and start looking at jobs at other places. So instead of me sitting at this job and just waiting for a promotion, waiting for a raise, I decided to go out and start applying other places. And that's how I ended up landing my first job with the federal government, and this completely changed my career. Even though I landed this job, I wasn't sure if I was completely ready for it because, of course, I had never worked for the federal government before. I was still very young. At this time, I was 19 years old, but still, I felt like I was ready to move on. So if it wasn't for me changing my mindset and realizing that, one, I had extremely valuable skills, and I also had a government security clearance that made me very valuable to the federal government and made me very valuable to other government contractor companies, it wasn't until that point where I told myself, okay, I can move on to positions that are higher than this and that are paying a much higher salary than this. So as soon as I made that jump to the federal government, I immediately increased my salary, and then it opened up so many more doors for me. What a lot of people don't realize is that to really play the career ladder game in tech, it's all about the names of the companies that are on your resume. So until you get those big names on your resume, you might completely get overlooked. So it should be your goal to where you should start to move around to where you can get those big names on your resume. And no, they don't have to be like FANG companies or big tech companies. They just need to be some Fortune 500 companies that if a recruiter is looking at your resume, they know what company it is right off the bat. This will immediately increase your tech career value and make it easier for you to get to those six-figure salaries. Another thing that you can do while you're at your job is improve your tech skills. So most companies have educational assistants, or they have some type of program within the company where you can go and have your company pay for more tech certifications. They might even pay for your degree, but whatever it is that you need to do, make sure that the company is paying for your certifications at bare minimum, because every certification that you get makes you more of an expert expert in that subject. So it's going to allow you to bring more value to the company. You should be able to take it to your manager and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting XYZ certification. And by me getting this certification, it's going to allow me to bring more value to the team and more expertise to the team. And typically they will end up paying for the certification. So you are able to easily skill up once you're already working a tech role. While you're gaining these certifications, you should also be looking out in the job market and seeing which certifications other tech companies are looking for, other certifications, other tech skills, whatever it is that is in demand right now, you should be focusing on that. And when you focus on those tech skills that are in demand and the technologies that are in demand, it's going to automatically increase your value in your tech career. Right now, the most in demand skills are, of course, cybersecurity, cloud, data, AI, and also Linux system administration, Windows system administration, and IAM skills. So any of those skills should be your career focus right now, because that is where the future of tech is headed. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep about which certification you should get, because this video is not about that. And I've already made a video on what I believe is the most valuable tech certification that you should get, and you can watch it right here on the screen. So now that you've shifted your mindset and you've worked on your technical skills, it's time to apply to jobs and get that job offer. Once you get your job offer, you need to be ready to negotiate. Salary negotiations are things that a lot of people are just not good with. Most people, they just take the first offer that they get once they receive it, just because they're so happy to receive an offer and they're just ready to leave their current company. But that's not the way to go about it. You always need to negotiate your salary. So some salary negotiation tactics that I like to use. First, you need to understand what is the current market rate for the skill that you have and the role that you're going into. A couple of ways that you can start doing some market research is by going to glassdoor.com, payscale.com, levels.fyi if you're into big tech, also fishbowl.com. There are many different sites that you can go to start seeing what the different salaries are that are out there that other people are getting paid. To avoid being underpaid, you need to do research. You have to understand what other people are getting paid so that you're not underpaid. I've been able to almost double my base salary just by doing good market research. I literally took my base salary from $105,000 to $175,000 just in a few months. So it's not about what you're currently making, it's about what the market values your skills at. And the craziest thing is, about that huge salary jump that I made, I didn't learn any new skills. I just took my skill set and applied it to a sector where these highly specialized skills are very valuable. So the government cybersecurity knowledge that I have was very valuable. I was a federal technical account manager. We had all government customers at this cybersecurity company. So I had multiple government customers with multi-million-dollar contracts, and I had to make sure that their environments were 100% secure and that our solution was working for them as intended. So with me having the skills of being able to interface with the government and having the technical skills, bringing that knowledge together in a tech sales type of role was something that opened up so many doors for me. So there may be an opportunity for you to look at the current skills that you have and apply it at a different angle that will allow you to be a SME and an expert in a certain field. So I was able to take full advantage of that and get to a $175,000 base salary. And this role was 100% remote. And even for this position, they didn't give me a $175,000 base salary off the bat. They actually offered me $150,000 and I negotiated for a $175,000 base salary. So never take the first offer and always negotiate. You cannot be scared of the big numbers. If you're scared of the big numbers, you're never going to make it there. Lastly, the most important way for you to really boost your tech career salary is to network. I know people do not like networking, but with LinkedIn and different virtual tech groups online, it has become much easier. But I highly recommend that you start networking on LinkedIn with different recruiters, network with different people that work at companies that you're interested in working at, and also make sure you go out and network in person at different conferences, different mixers. There's different companies that hold open houses that you can go to. So make sure you go out and show up in person, because you never know who you will meet. You can meet some high up executives, some very important key hiring managers when you go out to different events. So if you're not putting yourself out there, you are severely limiting how much money you can make in your tech career. And if you're wondering where you can find some of these mixers at, LinkedIn has different groups online. There's also Eventbrite. There's also meetup.com. underpaid.com. So there's many different places that you can go to start going to these networking mixer events in your area. And that way you can start meeting people and seeing where they work at, what type of experience they have, what type of insight they might have for you to be able to move up in your career as well. Once you build your network, you got to make sure that you keep it strong. And me having a strong network has made sure that I've always had six-figure roles. I could pick up the phone at any time and call somebody in my network and get a job opportunity. I was also able to get referred for the job I was telling you about earlier with the GovTech cybersecurity startup that paid me $175,000 base salary. I was able to get that opportunity through a referral. So make sure that you work on keeping your networking strong, and also make sure you widen your opportunities to other type of tech industries. One of the most overlooked tech industries is the government technology industry, and the government technology industry is only overlooked because they think everybody's underpaid. So like I just told you, I had a base salary of $175,000 a year in the government technology sector, right? And that was just my base salary. That wasn't my total comp. So there's so much opportunity in this industry, and most people are completely overlooking it. There are so many benefits of working in the government technology sector that people just have no idea about. In the GovTech sector, there's still pensions in the federal government and at government contractor companies. You're also able to make six figures, and it's extremely stable. And you get that job stability from your government security clearance. So government security clearances by themselves are worth six figures. So you're working in tech, you have a government security clearance, your job security is never an issue for you. GovTech also has educational assistance up to $50,000 per year. So you can get any degree that you want, any certifications that you want, pretty much no questions asked. And my favorite benefit of working in the GovTech sector is the ability to work overseas. So when you work overseas as a government contractor, you are able to make your first $120,000 tax-free. Your housing is free, your food is free, your transportation is free, and they also give you bonuses and stipends to travel around the world as well. So there are so many benefits in this GovTech sector, and it's not as hard to break into as most people think. If you are somebody who is a US citizen and you go onto websites like usajobs.gov or you go on to clearancejobs.gov, you can look for different jobs that are sponsoring government security clearances, and you start applying to these jobs. And once you get the job, it will give you the government security clearance, and then you'll start working in this stable industry. So these are the strategies that I've used and talked to hundreds of other people to avoid being underpaid in the tech industry. Remember, the key is to be proactive about your career and about your worth. Now you might be thinking, Simone, that sounds all great, and I heard you talk about GovTech, but how do I get started? Well, if you're serious about leveling up your tech career and unlocking those high salaries in the GovTech sector, then I've got something for you. I've taken everything that I've learned over the years, including my insider GovTech knowledge, and I put it into my GovTech 101 course. GovTech 101 will help you get your foot in the door in GovTech. For a limited time, you can get access to GovTech 101 for only $27. That's less than what you probably spend on coffee in a week, but it could be the key to you 10xing your tech salary. Just click the link in the description below to learn more, sign up, and I'll see you inside.